Hi, everybody. I'm Chicago psychic and intuitive consultant, Aloha shirt psychic Mel Dorr, and I've got Linda G in the house today. Yay.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. It's
You
our
rock,
Monday.
Miss G. You rock, girl. You rock,
Thank
Linda.
you. Thank you, honey.
Linda asked me about my Aloha shirt, and my cousin gave it to me years ago. She passed away in August, but we couldn't have any kind of memorial or anything because of COVID. And her husband has been in the hospital with COVID for the past 7 or 8 months. He just got out about a month ago.
How did he look, by the way?
I'm sorry?
How did he look?
A lot better than what I thought. I mean, he was on a walker, but he almost died. He was on a respirator. I mean, the day that she died, he went in the hospital with COVID. Could you believe that one? And so anyway, he was vaccinated, but he was on some kind of medication that brought his immune system down. Thank God he was vaccinated, because otherwise he would have died. But anyway, so we had a service, and everybody just laughed and told funny stories about her. And then afterwards, we went to dinner in an Italian restaurant from 3 to 6, and we played bingo and gamble. She would have loved that.
Yeah. Where did you play bingo at? At the restaurant?
The restaurant. They brought a little bingo game. but I'm not a bingo person, but what we did is we charged $1 a card, and then whoever won the pot. So
okay.
I mean, it got to like $60.
That's nothing to put your nose up at.
Exactly. So it was a really good memorial service. So when I first moved here, they took me under their wings years ago. And so they're family, I've got to say.
Yeah.
And so I was just so honored and proud to be a part of it.
Yeah. And how's he doing now? Is
her husband
improving? Or is his health?
He's lost a lot of weight, and he walks with a walker and a gait belt, but it's just amazing that he's alive, and he's getting stronger every day. He sat there at the wake, and or I should say memorial service, and then at the luncheon, he was right there playing bingo and everything. So
he's back with the living.
I mean, it sounds kind of boring, like when you say playing bingo, but can you imagine a room full of Italians, maybe 40 or 50 people playing bingo? It was wild.
My brother-in-law, who's now deceased, may you rest in peace, Italian family. And oh my God, you go out to a restaurant, oh my God, anything you want.
When I'm with, I won't say the F word, but when I'm with the Italian family, it's not like, would you please pass the cannoli? Hey, where's the effing cannoli? Who made this?
Our neighbor, she was Italian, and I'm talking when they had a reunion, the family would come in with the big black cars.
Yeah.
It looked like they were going to a memorial service, and they flew the grandma in from Italy, and then she would cook the meatballs for 3-4 days. It was like, whoa. Anyway, they had a big spread, but all the men would sit he had a huge ranch home. All the men would sit, and then he'd say he didn't like our bangs in our eyes at all. Get your bangs out of your hair, and don't dare chew gum.
Oh God, chewing gum, that's a no-no. But I call it gravy. Some people call it salsa. I call it gravy. And
my brother-in-law's family and my nephew now, who knows how to make the gravy.
Well, I got my rest. I mean, I learned from them, but I put my own flares to it now. But one time I made baked masticholi with homemade gravy and everything. Yo, Mel, did you make this? This is freaking better than anybody in the family. Like,
I know. No.
And then they were talking about like gay, and they were like, Mel, it never bothered us because we grew up with you. We were like anti-Mel.
Yeah, anti-Mel.
Call me anti-Mel. It's all right. I said, I don't care if you call me auntie or uncle. You just call me with respect.
There you go. Speaking of respect, what do you think the outcome is that's going to happen with this Ron DeSantis and his fight against Disney?
Well, you don't wake a sleeping giant.
Because Disney's in Florida, they were showing at Disney, and they got the size of a land of like New York. It's huge.
Yep. And everybody, by the way, here's what I did. You can find Governor DeSatan's website, and I sent him a message through the state of Florida, and I put on there in big letters, it's okay to say gay. So everybody, I think everybody should do that. Anyway, your question with Disney, he awakened a sleeping giant. Those big companies have a lot of clout. And essentially what he's doing is getting even with Disney, because Disney didn't support his Don't Say Gay campaign.
Right. Yeah, they couldn't.
And it's going to bite him right square in the butt.
Well, I've always saw him losing. And think of all those employees of Disney. They're not going to want to see Disney. What is he trying to do now? He's trying to do something to Disney. Hurt them.
If they have their own community where they don't have to depend on municipal trash removal and all of this and all that. They just
their own fire department. Yeah.
They do it from within, which makes a lot of sense because it's huge and there's so many tourists. And if the counties had to do that, it would cost them a ton of money.
Yeah.
So DeSatan is now saying, well, because this and that, then Disney, they're not going to be able to do all of their stuff internally anymore. And if they put a building up, they have to apply for a different kind of permit and
he messed himself up.
And here's the deal: if Disney pulls out,
I don't think they can, right? That park is huge.
Well, I don't think they will, but if they ever did, I mean, or that is the biggest tourist attraction in Florida. And that whole area would be in economic depression if Disney pulled out. So,
but he's an idiot. He doesn't look straight.
They don't see the forest for the trees. So here's the deal. I predict that Disney's going to sink a lot of money into putting in another candidate and getting DeSatan out.
That's what I felt like. Disney's really going to even hurt the Republicans, even though most of the Disney people are Republicans.
That's right. But they still had to stand up against the Don't Say Gay thing, because there's a lot of gay people who work at Disney.
And let me tell you, it took a lot of years before Disney would even let women wear slacks. I mean, they were so anti everything, including anti-gay.
Exactly. But, even if there's a bunch of Republicans in Disney, I don't know if they stood up against the anti-gay thing because of their idea on,
Christine digress.
Excuse me 1 second. Because of their idea, hold on, Linda. I'm sorry. I should have turned my phone off. I don't think they might not have done it because their stance on Don't Say Gay, but they knew that they would have to do something to look politically good.
Well, also, I mean, most of the world is over that.
That's correct. That is correct. And so, they're going to sink money, I can tell you right now, into other candidates, because they're not going to allow DeSatan to cause them to lose a lot of money. So that's how I see it playing out. And if DeSatan,
this is not working out for DeSatan.
Any chance that he would have running a president? Oh, what did you get?
So it's like he's cutting his nose to spite his face.
Absolutely.
And you know what? He's acting. It's all for the kids. It's all for the kids. The parents should be able. Well, he's really going to go downhill. But it's almost like think as I think or don't think at all. He's just like Putin.
And just like Trump.
Yeah.
But
Trump can't stand him.
Well, I know, but he sucks up to Trump or the Trumplicans. But if DeSatan just killed any chance he's got of running for president, because if those big companies put a lot of money into somebody else, he's horse meat.
Yeah.
So he screwed himself.
Speaking of horse meat, just real quick, if I can throw it out to you. I know you have questions too, but I've got two big ones sitting on my head. Sarah Palin, nothing burger.
Okay.
Even your dog agrees.
Good job, Lucky. She very rarely barks.
My dogs are barking now. They hear Lucky barking.
Oh, speaking of such, yeah, Sarah Palin's a nothing burger. I mean, she might think she's going to run for vice president again, but she's done. She's
Donald just gave her 2 thumbs up yesterday.
Well, don't go figure. Somebody sent
Well,
me,
they say she was the original Donald Trump.
oh, she's just stupid.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, somebody sent me these cards. They're written by Donna McDonald, illustrated by Susan Andrew Lyon. They're oracle cards, but it says messages from dog. So it's really cool.
Oh,
Uh,
let me know how you like those.
I will. I've just looked at them, but you can go to www.animalconsciousness.com. Again, www.animalconsciousness.com. So I'll put it down below. But anyway, I
Okay.
just have to say thank you.
That's great.
I'll send you a deck, Linda.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty. So, by the way, how are you, dear?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I told you my grandson's really sick.
Oh.
Poor baby. He woke up, but he's been vomiting till 4 a.m. and he's starving. And I told my daughter, I had some Pedialyte sent over to her and some saltine crackers.
Give
You
him some
know,
applesauce.
I love that Instacart from Safeway.
Give him
She
some
lives many
applesauce.
towns away. Some what sauce?
Applesauce.
Okay, so so she said, you know, she felt terrible about him being so sick. And she's wondering if it was food poisoning or something. Because it
Kinda
was just
sounds
a
like it.
sudden onset.
Sounds like Staph aureus because it does that. It can be like really fast and it gives you
Really
diarrhea.
fast. Yeah,
And
and
then,
he's not like a fever or anything. She said he's really pale. But the most important thing with children is to keep giving them fluids. My son, they went to hospitalize him, but he couldn't sit still. So I asked, since I'm a nurse, can I take him home? And I sat up all night with fluid in the bottle and just kept giving him sips whenever he would open his eyes.
yeah, because it's
And-
easy to get dehydrated.
I think it was actually a Pedialyte. And
Yeah.
then I just kept, and I told her, see if he can just even lick a soda cracker, because that's so good.
How old is he?
8.
Is that Jaden?
That's Jaden.
Oh,
By the way, he's really good at baseball now too.
yay.
My Patty McLean, the one who did the best psychic besides you, the best psychic I've ever had, years ago when I was in my 30s, told me that this was going to happen to me. But she also told me that I was going to have a grandson and that he was actually going to be a real good, because he's like really tall. He's going to be tall like my uncle, 6'4", 6'7", that he was going to be really good. She said, I think it's soccer, but I can't remember. I have to find her tape. But he's really good at baseball.
So why don't we all get baseball shirts that says "Go Jaden"?
Go Jaden. But me and my sister are going to take him to a Giants game.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, you got to get T-shirts that says "Go Jaden."
Right.
Get him some Gatorade, by the way.
He has that. He already has that. But I sent, Pedialyte is my thing of choice because of the electrolytes in it.
Well, Gatorade has electrolytes. That's why I said that.
Right. But Pedialyte's a little bit more. But some kids can take it, some can't.
But give him also applesauce because apples have pectin, and pectin helps to ease your stomach and your bowel. So,
well, I even know flat Coke. If you open up a can of Coke and let it go flat, has an anti-anemic thing in it. So
years ago when we were kids and we had upset stomach or something, my mother would give us Coke syrup because years ago you could buy Coke syrup and you'd take a tablespoon of that. It was sweet, but it worked.
Okay.
So yeah, just a flat Coke is okay. Anyway, all right, here we go. I sense by tomorrow the next day is going to be fine.
Thank you.
All righty, everybody send healing energy to Jaden, please.
Okay, thank you guys. And also today's April 4th, the big day of the end of the world. And by the way, Biden's going to die today.
And here we are.
Well, what are you thinking about these god awful, horrible crimes that Russia's saying is staged?
Well, number one, how could you stage something like that? That's number one. But I see people with their hands tied behind their backs,
yes,
raping girls and women and then killing them. Russian soldiers killing people on the bus. That's not staged. No way.
no.
And, I see that Putin is going to be tried through Amnesty International or some other organization.
I was seeing that too.
And he's going to be held guilty of war crimes. What they're talking about, the village of Bucha, I think. And there were mass graves, and that's not staged. And you know, nobody in their right mind would believe it anyway.
Right. Well, the world is really up in arms about it.
Well, I just saw something where in Russia, they've even got little tags on canned goods. So if you try to walk out of the store with it, it'll beep, it'll cause something to beep because the inflation is getting so high there.
14% up right now.
Oh yeah, and it's plunging into recession. And when I saw that on TV today, you know, before we do a show, I always do my homework. But when I saw it on TV today, I thought my guide showed me they're going to go into a huge depression. It's going to be huge.
Okay, because you know they haven't been getting hit, but we did know it was going to take a while. Also, unemployment's going way up there.
And
people are closing their businesses left and right.
Inflation has skyrocketed. Their sugar is they're selling it off the back of trucks. I'm sure the black market's going to flourish. You know, I think it's going to be worse than the Great Depression here in the 1930s. It's going to be huge.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I was a little surprised that Germany is still buying oil from them. But my son said, Mom, if they don't, they can't exist.
Well, you know, I'm calling on everybody, any American companies still doing business in Russia, I'm boycotting. And I won't name them on our show because
there's a lot of them I started to boycott, even Coca-Cola still was, and they turned it around. Right.
So just go online and see what American companies are doing business in Russia and just don't buy the product. Those are things we can do. But
so with the releasing of all the oil that the president is doing, is that going to put us in a compromised state, or are we okay?
No, because you know he's not going to release enough to jeopardize if we need it for something.
Right, and the other thing is, like he said to these people, use it or lose it.
That's right.
I know they lease a lot of Indian lands, and with my family, with my lineage of my Comanche tribes, they lease it, but they don't drill on it.
Right. Well, that happens to Gary.
They tie it up, but they don't drill.
Gary's got some mineral rights on property somewhere.
I have mineral rights in a lot of places.
And they lease it, but you know, I told him, well, here's how you negotiate it. They're not drilling on it, but if they do and they hit something, he gets a smaller percentage. But right. So he's got properties like that, but they're not doing anything with it. It's just sitting there.
Right. Well, Biden just said, I'm sorry, President Biden. Biden just said, use it or lose it. He's going to start making sure that these people can't just tie up all this stuff and not drill.
Well, they do that to control prices, but I want to tell you something else.
What?
We're going to introduce legislation to stop price gouging, you know, if the repubes will vote for it. Right. But I see Biden imposing a lot more sanctions on Russia and some on India too, because India, their companies are still doing business really big time in Russia. And so I see sanctions there. There's even a shortage of medicine there, which is sad for the Russian people.
Yeah,
they're victims of Putin too, but I'm telling you, their depression, their economy, my guide showed me is going to be in depression.
Wow.
Yep. And it's not really going to affect the world stage that much because who uses Russian products? Nobody really. The only thing they've got is the oil.
And poor Ukraine, they were doing a lot of stuff for us. There's some wiring that we need for cars. So now we're going back into we were already a shortage. Now it's more because Ukraine was making it. And right. Ukraine with the wheat. Right.
Well, you know, the Ukrainians will not give up. So, all right. Kathy Rollins asks, it's a dark and stormy day here on the Oregon coast. I'm sorry. I just told everybody happy spring, right? My question
is today the first day of spring?
No, March the 21st or 22nd was, but I figured it's April, so it's kind of more springy. Okay, she said, my question is, will the UN take action to ban Russia from the Human Rights Council or issue some sort of condemnation regarding the atrocities they are committing in Ukraine? Then she says, you two are just great together and a pleasure to watch. Oh, thanks, Kathy.
Thank you, honey. I can tell you that all the committees that Russia's on, they're getting ready to be pulled out.
Yeah.
And that this particular crimes against humanity is really going forward. I see it going forward, and I see Putin furious. But I never, even if he hits the nuke button, he's not going to be able to do anything. It's like
I don't see that
nothing.
either. Gary and I are looking for ways to go to Poland or maybe Slovakia or to Hungary to help do some work with the refugees. Whatever they want us to do, we'll do. So, but that question, will the UN take action to ban Russia from the Human Rights Council? Yes, and I pulled a card and look what I got. The Five of Pentacles. Russia's outside in the cold.
Yep. Yeah. We're all inside the church in a nice warm environment.
Correct. All righty. Fed Girl. Oh, I like that title, Fed Girl. Hi, Mel and Linda. Much love to you both. My question is, this is a good one. This is a juicy.
Give me. Tell me not to peace.
Ready for the juice? After Madison Cawthorn talked about the sex and drug parties he was invited to, probably went to a few, Mitch McConnell had a meeting with Republicans. What was the reason for the meeting? What was discussed in the meeting? Thank you, and Linda, for sharing your gifts with us. Ooh, that's a good question.
He's got to go.
Well,
he's got to go. He even said Chuck Grassley was at one of those.
Well, he's telling the truth, actually.
I know he's telling the truth. I'm so sorry to say it.
You know what? And more is going to come out about that too, because a couple of other people are going to come forward. And, I made a note here about this question because I'm like, okay, so a lot of the repubes seem like they're so religious. And when they were questioning Judge Brown about, if you were Catholic and you were this and you were that, but yet they were having cocaine and sex parties.
It's true. He didn't make it up.
No, he didn't make it up.
And he's all surprised that they're all pissed off at him.
Oh yeah, it really happened. I'm like, whoa. They usually tell on themselves, and this is great. I'm sure Mitch McConnell told him, don't be saying anything about that.
I don't see Mitch McConnell involved, but I do see.
No, but he did it to shut him up, though.
He told them we have to get rid of him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, beautiful dreamer. She says, I look forward to you and Linda's broadcast every week. So do we.
We do too.
Question: do you feel Putin and Trump will go together like Jefferson and Adams 8 hours apart, or Lizzie Borden and Emma Borden 8 days apart? I don't know if she's asking if they're going to die or just leave.
Okay, repeat that to me.
She says, do you feel Putin and Trump will go together like Jefferson and Adams 8 hours apart, or Lizzie Borden and Emma Borden 8 days apart? I guess is when they crossed over or something.
Right. Doesn't feel like that.
No. Oh.
I think Putin, there's something going to happen. I'm not feeling a natural cause for Putin.
I'm not either, but I see kind of his top people taking him out.
But I see Trump sort of lingering. But let me tell you something. We've got a lot of elections coming up real soon that we're really going to be able to take the pulse of Trump and the Republican Party. Now, he's totally against that guy in Georgia, and he really wants his people to win. And I know I know his people. I can feel it. It's just like 2018 all over again. Practically everybody he recommended lost.
Right.
And even this morning they were talking about, he wanted this person. And they said, yeah, but all of them lost. So I see that people are really kind of being able to breathe and saying, you know what? We don't have to put up with this anymore. Like that Republican governor that at some sort of roasted Trump, talked trash about him.
Oh, yeah.
And people were laughing. No one booed.
Exactly. No one booed. Nobody. You know what? I remember when you and I were talking on a show quite a while ago, it was months ago, and I had said I had a vision of Merrick Garland talking behind closed doors about, what they were going to do, and nothing had leaked.
Right,
And that's coming to pass because
right, because he got a grand jury.
that's right. My feeling is that he's investigating Trump right now for the January 6th thing, especially since those text messages came to light between Ginny Thomas. And we had both saw her in hot water. And here it
Mhm.
is.
Here it is.
So I think the DOJ has been investigating for quite a while, and they did a great job of keeping it hushed up.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
so
I'm really feeling that Justice Thomas, his health is compromised big time.
he will. And I see finally Trump under indictment. So back to getting him out, I think if he's under indictment, I don't see him going to jail. But I don't know if he's under indictment, if he's convicted, if he can run for president. I don't think so.
I don't think he's a nothing burger. But I
Correct.
did see him in a wheelchair. So
All
I
right.
don't know if his health goes straight downhill and he's talking to himself with his big diapers on.
That would be karmic, wouldn't it?
Thanks for the visual, Linda, but he does wear the pins.
Well, I think Putin's people will take him out, but Trump will go out through other methods.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, all right. So here we go. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. The Mrs. H.M. Mort. Hi, Mel and Linda. When we pass away, do we learn our past lives that we have lived? I say yes.
Oh, God, yes. It's actually in sort of a spiritual DNA. It's connected into the realm. So when you come out of your body, that beautiful spiritual body has all of it. All of a sudden, everything makes sense. All of a sudden, you remember all of it.
Correct. That's what I believe too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Libra lady, you two together will brighten this rainy day in Michigan. Well, this is happy. Thank you. Love you both. We love you too. What message do you get regarding the vaccine booster for age 50 and over? Thank you. I don't know if you're asking if it's safe, the answer is yes.
I feel it's safe. I'm getting it Sunday.
Oh, okay. I've already been boosted. So
The second time,
no, just the first.
I'm getting the second boost.
I should probably, I think.
Well, I'm not going to ask my youngest because he got boosted, 2 shots and a boost, and he was terribly sick with the boost. So I would not ask him.
No, but I'll tell you a little secret. People tend to get ill after the shot. Take Benadryl before you go take the shot, and that'll help tremendously.
I thought you said take about a half a cup of whiskey.
There, bourbon got to be.
Oh, was it bourbon? Yeah. And you said, drink that down real fast, Linda. I told that lady, hold on, hold the bus.
Just take a pint and put a straw in it.
Back in the days when I used to buy, like if I was having a party and get some hard liquor and have a big bottle of vodka or something, and they'd say, well, do you want it back? I said, no, I'll just take a straw. I'll drink it on the way home. Just like with a cake or something, did you want us to bag that? Nah, I'll just dip in while I'm driving home and I eat.
Marijuana is legal here, so some people can say, I'll take a pint of bourbon whiskey, and a couple edibles, and I'll be good.
I'm really praying I don't get sick Sunday, but I shouldn't be. If you go in fear, sure enough, that's what you create.
I don't think you're going to get sick. Just take an aspirin before you go, seriously.
Okay.
And I think you'll be fine. Okay. Wow, this is a good one too. Sharon B. Hello, Mel and Linda. Love seeing you both. I'm concerned about the children at the border, whether they will ever be reunited with their parents. Also, were some of those children adopted without the knowledge of their parents? I'm sure some were.
Yes. And some of them are already getting connected. There are some that are still lost.
I see a lot of them. I see many of them getting reconnected, thank God. But there's going to be a lot of horror stories coming out about what happened at the border with sexual abuse and all of that.
Right.
And it's not going to look good for the Republicans with that one.
No.
Not at all. And
Yeah.
so I can see,
I've said that the children will be, a lot of them will be, and I even see lawsuits coming up.
so do I.
So
I guess the question, you probably answered this a million times, but what about Jenny Thomas with those emails? And then she lied and said she wasn't there that day, and she was. And oh my
she didn't
God.
lie under oath. She just told the press she wasn't there.
Right.
Just like she's lying and saying that the whole election was rigged. That's a lie.
It is a lie.
There has not been any proof presented. All the judges, even Trump Republican judges, said, show me something, give me something.
Nothing. But I've got a funny feeling that she is already under investigation with the DOJ.
Yeah.
And because with those text messages, that means she was complicit in trying to overturn the election, which really what they did was illegal.
Right.
And so I don't know what your cards are showing you, but that's what I'm picking up.
I see her looking haggard and crying. So I think her husband's not well. He wants to hold on as tight as he can. He doesn't want to go or die while Biden's in office. Just
Yeah,
like
because the midterm.
just by Ruth Ginsburg. Her regret was not taking the opportunity to leave when Obama was in office. She thought for sure Hillary Clinton would have got it.
But look how horrible they treated Judge Brown in those hearings. Oh my God.
They're still doing it. They're doing the fun thing, and I saw a big poster from Ted Cruz about child pornography.
Oh, please.
These
you know what?
cocaine people are talking about child pornography.
Well, just wait when he starts to run again for something and it comes out about how those kids were treated at the border in Texas. It's not going to look good for Cancun Cruz, is it?
So the answer to that question is Jenny Thomas will get her just desserts. It's going to go legal. She will have court hearings based on what she did.
Oh, good.
And she's kind of going to get cut off. Here's the deal. When the January 6th comes out, they're also going to present a lot of information about how they made up that story about the election being stolen.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to present beyond a reasonable doubt.
It's all going to come out. There'll still be a few that believe Trump's big lie, but
yeah, those people won't even watch it.
Mm-mm. And I just heard that some of they're already saying that if the Republicans take over the Senate in the midterms, any Supreme Court justice that Biden might want to bring, they'll delay for 2.5 years. I just heard it.
If they can.
If they can't.
The thing is, when we have the new, it's not going to be it might be a close call in Congress, but not in the Senate. We're going to have the majority in the Senate.
So, well, I hope.
And good luck with that.
I hope we keep the House, because the Speaker of the House, if something happens, then ultimately could become president. Dumas McCarthy is Speaker of the House.
Oh my God. No.
So typically the midterms are a referendum on what's going on with inflation and gas prices. But I'm telling you, before the midterms, Biden is going to give a stimulus.
He's going to get it better. He's going to, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you the feeling I get when we talk about this with McConnell thinking, oh, when we take over. In fact, they were asking Mitch McConnell, so what exactly are the Republicans planning to do? What is your, what do they call it? What are you guys looking at with helping America? What's your thing on healthcare? What exactly are you going to do? He said, when we win, I'll tell you.
Right, exactly, because they don't have a plan. That's what
they don't have a plan. So it's once again the same thing with Trump going in and vetoing everything, and that's what they think is going to happen. But Trump will be after McConnell, by the way. But let me tell you something. I got the feeling when I look at McConnell, I got the feeling when McCain did the thumbs down. When Pence started to walk through the door and he turned, and all, everybody's like, yeah, we're about ready to get rid of Obamacare. And then McCain did the thumbs down, and you could hear that. That's the feeling I got, like, oh my God, we won. Oh my God, they don't have an opportunity to destroy us.
Correct. That's what I'm feeling too. The other thing is, I think I keep saying, I think that Biden's going to be able to appoint a couple more justices.
I
And
do too. I've
so
been
then
feeling
the next one will be, the hearings will be as equally as contentious as these were, but I still see him putting at least two more justices on.
Well, let
Uh,
me tell you a hit I got when I was talking to, with amongst others. And I'll just throw this out here, you guys. I got to sit down and concentrate it, but I was almost feeling Justice Roberts not being able to take this pressure anymore. And almost, I see him even considering, you know what? I'm going to step down. I'm going to give Biden my exit papers, because health-wise, it's affecting him. Because I see that Thomas just, yeah, whatever. And then I see, because they're looking at him, you need to come up with a plan. So justices have to follow, the language. And so even if he's writing it, I see Thomas in it, whatever. So if Justice Roberts steps down, they're all effed, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I agree. And I see a whole new set of guidelines coming that they have to follow when they should recuse themselves. For a long time, we thought that the Supreme Court was sacrosanct. Nothing dark could touch it. And all this is coming out about, Thomas and this and that. And there's more coming out about some of those justices.
Even Amy, she was supposed to recuse herself from her husband's stuff. She didn't.
Yeah, well,
and Kavanaugh, all those tips that came in, the FBI never touched it.
Well, the committee, I think the Republicans on this committee will vote no for her going on the court. But when it comes to the Senate, then the Senate, she'll get enough votes to be on the court, Judge Brown.
Oh, she's gotten in.
Oh, exactly.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Plus two more are coming in.
And let me tell you, American women, I don't care what your color is, most educated, good American women don't like the way that these men are treating her.
Right.
They're not appreciating that, they're picking on her.
They are, and it's horrible.
And she I don't know how she does it. Because if it was me, I'd be telling Lindsey Graham off. I'd be telling Ted Cruz off.
Oh, I'd be doing little finger for days. But she didn't.
So, you guys got a lot of nerve hitting me up when you're blah, blah, blah. That's how I am.
In a way, by her doing what she did, that shows that how contained she can really be. She didn't get mad like Kavanaugh when Kavanaugh.
I like bear.
Exactly.
And he called it a Clinton conspiracy.
Exactly.
And he's not even, I thought that he shouldn't be a justice if he's thinking like that. They still made him justice.
Oh, this is good. Emmy J says, hi, Mel and Linda. I'm over in Michigan and it's looking like the Angels are having a major pillow fight. The snowflakes are so big and there are a lot of them. Kind of sounds like the Trump rally.
They're still showing up for his Trump rally. Some guy this morning said maybe at least 10,000 people.
Well, I don't know.
But those are a lot of those people, they're on welfare. They take the bus. Some of them get paid for being there. So
I agree. They're right.
Not that being on welfare means anything. I'm just saying they appreciate going because they love him and he hates the way they love to hate.
Oh, exactly. Absolutely. I mean, this thing with Judge Brown was, some of the reprieves trying to get even for the Amy Coney Barrett or for the Kavanaugh thing, but also it's racist. And it just came to the forefront. It's really racist.
I think once this justice gets in, I really see and we'll just see what happens. I just see that Justice, not Thomas, the other one I just talked about.
Oh,
Roberts.
Right.
I see Roberts just really saying, you know what, I'm done here.
Well, a lot of them said they didn't like the way she answered the question about putting more justices on the court. And it would be like, well, wait a minute, if the shoe were on the other foot, you guys would be doing it.
Oh, heck yeah.
But you don't have to worry because it would never get through the Senate now, not with that thin majority that we have. But I think the majority getting better for us, by the way.
I do too.
Okay. This is good. Michelle S. Hi, Mel. I love your shows together with Linda. So do I. Do we all have telepathic abilities to a certain degree and with anyone? Or is it just more intuitive people like you and Linda who can send and receive telepathic messages. I don't consider myself psychic, but if I deeply care about someone far away, would that person feel or notice the energy change in some way? We all have psychic ability. Some have it stronger than others. It's like playing the piano. Some have the talent for it and some aren't so hot, like myself who playing the piano.
Yeah,
But we all have it. And
right.
telepathy is a form of psychic ability or ESP. And so typically people that are empathic, they're claircognizant, they don't know how they know or what they know, they just know. Or if somebody's feeling bad and you're thinking about them, that's telepathic. So Michelle, we all have it. We all have
Right.
it. I think we all have it. So
And we'll have dreams. You'll have hits, you'll just know something.
you just know
I
something.
had the weirdest feeling too, by the way, while we're talking. I heard a large boom. Not for real, psychically.
Oh, you heard of what?
A boom.
Wow.
And you and I were talking, I could feel this boom. I don't know, is this a volcano or an earthquake or a bomb? I just felt it. I don't know what that means.
You were right about something when you said you saw a Russian ship on fire. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And the Ukrainians hit that ship.
Yeah,
that's
my
what you-
guides rock. They'll give us pieces of things. And I asked them too, because they're really against looking at the future too hard. They want you to be in the present. They don't want you focusing on, they don't need you to have that anxiety.
Right.
They
But
want you
do.
to hand yourself over to the higher powers and know that you'll be taken care of, But I understand that anxiety of worrying, how are you going to feed your kids? Are you going to know this or that? But I said to them, okay, well, if you don't like people knowing, why do you give me prophecy? Why do you tell me? From the day I sat in front of that computer, I said, Trump is not going to win. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to win.
Mm-mm.
And they said, so the people will have faith. In other words, if I give you some, now I'm not 100% correct. And it's usually, entertainment. I'm just telling you my hits.
Right.
But if the more you're correct and you're connected to the realm that's giving you the correct answers, the more people will have, like people write to me all the time, and I'm sure they do to you. I just feel calmer. I just know this too shall pass. Everything.
Well, that's our job.
Okay. Just like with Putin, he's going. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I'm not sure how or what. And I'm so sorry these young people are dying.
Yeah.
But we all sign up for something. Some of us were in World War II in another life. The injustice is part of this realm. It's very sad. But as you grow, because look at all the wonderful people that are, look at everybody, except I just read that China is going to stop letting the youth of the China go against Ukraine, going for Ukraine. They don't want to be public about that.
I'm sorry, you read what? There were what?
China is telling, let me read it to you. Beijing is mounting a campaign aimed at officials and students to rally domestic support. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. This is they're saying that officials in China have been meeting behind closed doors to study a Communist Party produced documentary. So they're actually for Putin. They don't want that. That's actually good. So
Yeah,
you see the realm that China is even taking.
Well, I think there's one thing that this has done. It's pulled the world together. And even a lot of Republicans, it's pulled together because many of them aren't for Putin. The Trumpicans are, but
I know.
most no. So it has pulled us together. I think the big boom you heard, it might have something to do with what's going on in Ukraine.
It could be another big explosion.
I don't think it's a nuke. I hope not, but it looks like that there's going to be a huge explosion there. And I think it's going to be, I don't know, but I just keep seeing wins being scored for Ukraine.
Okay.
That's how I interpreted your boom.
I just heard it. I heard it as clear as day. I'm sitting here in my own beeswax.
Usually when you get things that spontaneously, you're right on.
I was like, whoa, I just felt it. Just like I got that hit on Justice Roberts. I just felt like, whoa, he's thinking about leaving. I can't guarantee he is, but I feel like he's like, F you guys, I'm out of here. I want it, because you know what, it affects him that the Supreme Court is like 23% of people think they're cool.
I know.
Their numbers, they're not respected at all.
Politics should not come into the Supreme Court. It should
And
be.
let me tell you, if Trump was still running and he's one of those presidents that would do like Andrew Jackson. Oh, to hell with what the Supreme Court says. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Right. Yeah. Can't do that. Okay. This is a good one. Hawaii bound. It says, love you both. Question. What country would you visit just for the scenery? Oh my goodness. There's so many beautiful
Oh,
countries.
there's so many beautiful. New Zealand.
Southern Germany, right on the border of Germany and Austria. And
Oh, I'd love to see Austria. And
Oh.
the other place I want to see is Austria, New Zealand. I don't know if I'd take the trip because it's awful long ways. But I heard New Zealand is absolutely gorgeous.
So is Australia.
But
It says, what country would you visit to sample their cuisine? Oh my God, every country I've been in, I've sampled their cuisine and I don't
I
have
didn't like French food. Believe it or not, I did not like French food. And forget, the food was good in Ireland. Scotland, not so much.
I guess, you
Scotland
know,
has excellent water. You can drink faucet water. It's like butter. It's beautiful. Their chocolate's great, their butter, their dairy, but even their eggs that have a weird taste to them.
Italy has some really good food, but you know,
Oh, I heard it.
when I'm in Europe, like we were in Germany for the Asparagus Fest and Gary, and I'm like, what? Oh my God.
My sister was in Germany with the fest and it's delish.
It was amazing. You know, I mean, Italian food, you know, there's French is more hot cuisine, but things like, you know, in Germany, the Schweineachse, in Croatia or in the former Yugoslavia, there's a sausage called cevapcice or cevap. Oh my God, that is amazing.
My sister said she stayed at her mother-in-law's family and they had asparagus that was like this round and thick and they made a meal out of it and then they would make two meals out of it. They'd pick a bunch of it out of their farm place.
Well, in Europe, they don't put GMOs in their food. And so tomatoes taste like tomatoes, you know. I can eat the bread there and I don't get nothing because I don't get like bloated because it's just all natural. It's amazing.
Well, the best Chinese I ever had was in Edinburgh, Scotland. I've never had better Chinese.
Wow.
Oh, there is a place in Las Vegas at the Wynn Hotel. So very expensive. They even give you a little chair to put your purse on. It's a little tiny chair. You can put your purse on it.
Chinese is my least favorite food, but
yeah, when you're hungry, you don't think, oh yeah, Chinese.
No, I'd say let's go Italian or let's go whatever. But all right, this is
good
really
Italian, not that half
tomato.
No. Yeah,
I'm talking like okay. Regina S. Looking forward to you and Linda G. Okay, this is a good question. My youngest sibling of 5 and sister passed away unexpectedly at the age of 59 this past week. I'm so sorry, Regina.
We're so sorry, honey.
Okay. She was found on Tuesday, March 29th at her home. It was determined that she had passed away 2 to 3 days prior to being found at her home. I hope you can answer this very personal question for me and letting me know if she passed quickly without suffering. It would ease my mind to know that she did. Needless to say, it's devastating and I'm terribly heartbroken. We lay her body to rest this coming Wednesday, April the 6th. She was a precious soul and I loved her very much, and I know she knew that. I am troubled to know that she was there alone for 2 to 3 days before she was found. I pray that you can answer this for me and give me comfort. Thank you. Brightest blessings to you both. I already know what happened. I've got it.
What is it?
I think she had a blockage in her heart in the left main coronary artery at the very top. And there was plaque there. And sometimes that plaque, when it gets sticky, it causes the clot to form. And that clot causes a massive heart attack. So the blood can't get to the left side of the heart. And usually it's fast.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that I'm not feeling she was in any pain whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was just blinking.
And also she told me while you were reading that, because I can hear her, even though Usually I wait 3 months, 4 months of death before because she's still in transference, if you know what I mean.
Right,
I heard her say, I wasn't alone.
right,
I'm not alone.
exactly.
You
She
know,
was
and also I'm not dead.
right. I mean,
It's weird.
her body was there for 2 or 3 days, but even if Regina, y'all had found her and started CPR, it would not have changed the outcome. And that's what my guides are telling me really strongly. So, you know, her body was there, but she was already on the other side.
She's had very high, she was a beautiful person. So she had very high energy forms coming together.
Right.
So she's doing real good.
She is. Okay. All righty, let's do one more.
Okay.
Oh, this is good. Jan Wag. Will the federal voting rights bill pass before the midterm elections in time to make a difference for mail-in voters and others who don't usually go to the polls to vote?
Well, the what?
Will the federal voting rights bill pass before the midterm elections in time to make a difference for mail-in voters and others who don't usually go to the polls to vote?
Yeah, but see, they're hurting the Republicans too. They think they got it all lined up. I
Right.
see people coming out like ants.
So,
I don't care what they do. It's still going to go in our favor.
you know, rather than if they won't let you do a write-in vote, go to the polls. If you have
Go
to
to
wait
the
in
polls.
line, you know, if they close the
And I
polls.
see people in the places they need to worry, because I still get my ballot in the mail.
Right,
I
right.
see people going around, the young youth going around, driving people to the polls.
Exactly. So even if you like, what they might try is to close the polls while people are waiting in line, but if that goes to court, they're going to say you can't do that. So everybody's got to get out and vote. You're right. It's going to hurt the Republicans too.
It's hurting them too. And remember, a lot of people have died that would have been voting for some of these people. So,
You know, just because it looks as if the Republicans are winning the war when it comes to voting rights. I mean, I'm sorry, just because it looks as if they're winning the battles does not mean they'll win the war. My guys will tell me
I'm
that.
telling you, Biden and all of them, they're coming up with some stuff that's just really going to change things around.
That's what I see too.
Yeah. So,
all right, my dear,
well,
we've been doing this an hour already, would you believe?
Listen, I want to tell you too, I took my sons to see Batman, by the way, 3 hours long. It was actually pretty good. My daughter wanted to take my grandson, but he got sick. And I said, nah, 3 hours is too long for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
It was too long, too much dialogue.
Yeah.
But anyway, but there's a new movie coming out with Tom Hanks about Elvis Presley. And the guy who plays Elvis, oh my God, he's gorgeous. And I'm going to be first in line to see that. I want to see that one. And I want to see the new Jurassic Park one.
I want to see the new Jurassic Park. I love Tom Hanks, but also see the movie Dog.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I saw Coda and that dog, other one. What was that one? Everybody thought it was going to win the Academy Award. It won everywhere else.
But you got to see Dog. It's so cool.
Real quick before you go, what do you think about, I feel bad, believe it or not, because his temper was out to lunch, about Will Smith. I just feel this is really going to affect him. Do you think he'll rally? I don't see Chris, a comedian, holding any grudges against him or acting out or suing or anything. He did it to himself, and it's just really sad to see what's coming up.
Well, I've seen an incident for him before of going like that to somebody. And I've heard that he can be very difficult. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, my daughter worked in the city when he was doing some movie, and she said he was very nice to everybody.
Good. But, you know, I think you just can't engage in battery like that. And it was battery and not have repercussions. And
I mean, the LA cops offered to arrest him right
well, then. I'm glad I can't think of the comedian's name right now. Chris Rock, was it? No, what was the comedian's name?
Yeah, I think it's Chris Rock.
Chris Rock that he smacked. I think he took the higher road and saying, I'm not going to
Oh
prosecute.
my God, did he show class? And he kept going, even though you could tell he was off
He
center.
was rattled, but he kept going. That's a sign of a professional. But
If it'd
I-
been me up there, I'd have been starting to cry and F you, you son of a
oh, me
bitch.
too. I would
There
have
would
been
have been
scratching his eyes.
fisticuffs and. Because he kept looking like, is somebody gonna come running out here and. Oh, so they just announced that 300, at least 300 have been killed in Ucha.
Wow.
That's
That's a massacre.
it's a mess.
But anyway, back to Will Smith. I think this is going to have repercussions for his career for a very long time. I think nobody's
do
going to want to touch him for a while.
And he did it to himself.
He did it to himself.
So, Denzel Washington was talking on something and he didn't want to get into about Will Smith and Chris Rock, but he did say, if the devil is pushing you or right in front of you, then you're doing something right, which means the devil will interfere when they think you're moving in the right direction.
Right.
They'll do anything they can. That's what Eckhart Tolle talks about. I don't necessarily believe in some of that language, but Eckhart Tolle talks about our egos are so strong that sometimes we cut our nose to spite our face. We just screw it up. And I was a major screw up. They'd say, gee, she had all this going for her. Why would she, cause trauma?
He really, really self-sabotaged. And, I'm sure some of his diehard fans will make excuses, but I'm telling you right now, my guys and are showing me that he's going to be blackballed when it comes to movies for a very.
They already said a lot of his projects have been put on hold because they're waiting to see what the Academy says.
Well, he resigned from the Academy.
I know, but the Academy is still going to do something to him.
They will. I had seen a lot of sanctions. I kind of thought they might take away the Oscar, but you said no, they won't do that. But
I'm not saying them take it away because it's a voting thing. Like you can't remove a president just because you don't like him if everybody voted for him.
That's true. But they can vote for sanctions, and I'm sure there'll be some huge sanctions. So
yeah. All right, my love. It was wonderful seeing you.
You stay well. Next week, your show, right?
Next week, my show.
Okay. Let me just pause.
It's cold out there. It's overcast and the wind's blowing. Whoa.
Oh, let me just do this real quick.